Welcome back to Comical Opinions. This is Gabe Hernandez, and today we have a review of G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, number 304 from Image Comics and Skybound. In this issue, we've got the Joes, Serpentor's forces, and Cobra's army in Springfield all spying on each other, planning to attack each other, and scheming for a big battle that's on the horizon. But before we get started, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification. Your attention is greatly appreciated, and make sure to stay to the end for the final tally and the score. So let's get into it with the title credits. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero number 304 is written by Larry Hama, art by Chris Mooneyham, colors by Francesco Segala, with flattering assist by Sabrina Del Grosso, letters by Pat Brosseau, and the cover is by Andy Kubert and Brad Anderson. So before we get into the current story, let's recap where we left off. Serpentor teamed up with Alpha 001 from Revanche to cybernetically enhance Serpentor's Cobra mutants that were cannibalizing each other on Cobra Island after they were exposed to the mutant genetic bomb created by Dr. Mindbender. And in the sort of prototype test or tryout test of Revanche's cybernetically enhanced surgical process, they sent a small team of enhanced blue ninjas off to the Sierra Mountains to kill Snake Eyes and Scarlet in their cabin. Where we left off with the issue was a brief snapshot from the optical nerve of one of the enhanced blue ninjas that showed Scarlet and Snake Eyes were dead and that the mission was a success, and that paved the way for Alpha 001 and Serpentor to come to an arrangement where now they could cybernetically enhance all of the mutants on Cobra Island and form an unstoppable army to attack Springfield. That's where we left off. So let's talk about what happens in this issue. So in this issue, we found out, of course, Snake Eyes and Scarlet are not dead. It was all a ruse that they used to trick Serpentor into thinking that we were dead, and that the blue cybernetically enhanced blue ninjas were really successful, maybe destroyed, but at least successful in their mission. They call in the Joes to scoop up the remains because they're going to reverse engineer with the help of Mainframe and Black Hat and a few of the other tech savvy Joes. Meanwhile, Dawn, who showed up in the last issue, who is a sort of clone version of Snake Eyes, showed up back in her house in Springfield with her parents. She snuck out with her ninja skills intact and tried to find out what's going on at Springfield, considering that some of the Serpentor ninjas, technologically and cybernetically enhanced ninjas, have shown up to do some recon. She figures out that they're spying on Cobra Commander, who now knows that Serpentor is planning an attack. And instead of going on the defensive, they learn that Cobra Commander is going to set up a trap, if you will, to try and draw the Serpentor army into a killing field or a kill zone. So while all that's happening, Dawn gets discovered by the recon cybernetically enhanced blue ninjas from Serpentor. She manages to stave them off and attack them and keep them back on their heels, but they issue a self-destruct, which is an important piece of information that'll come into play later. Meanwhile, on the other side of the of the world, or near the Sierras, I should say, Mainframe, Black Hat, and Wild Bill are taking pieces of the destroyed blue ninjas that were sent to kill Scarlet and Snake Eyes, and the pieces come back together. So the ninjas are not quite dead unless you really destroy them. They have the ability to reassemble and come back to life. They managed to stave off the attack a second time, but they have new information that says that the cybernetically enhanced blue ninjas are very, very dangerous and are able to reassemble themselves if you're not careful. While all that's going on, Serpentor still thinks his recon forces are successful with the help of Revanche's upgrades. And so now they start to plan to mass produce not only the mutant bomb to create more mutants, but then to mass surgically create a surgical assembly line with the mutants to cybernetically enhance them with Alpha 001's new upgrade process. And so what do you see after all of that? If that wasn't enough, Zartan gets in on the act by paying a visit to Destro and Baroness in Scotland with a proposal that could spell big trouble for everyone involved. So that's a lot. So interesting fact, or maybe not, depending on your point of view, but if you've been keeping up with all the G.I. Joe related titles that are within the Energon universe and that are attached to Image's now new acquisition of the Hasbro license and creating all these titles, this particular series, G.I. Joe Real American Hero, written by Larry Hama, who is, the goat of goats when it comes to writing G.I. Joe, apparently is not connected in any way to the Energon universe. It is a standalone title. It is following its own path. It is not connected to the Energon universe. It is not connected to the Transformers. It has the Cobra Commander here is, I won't say a different Cobra Commander, but it's a different timeline or different universe than the standalone Cobra Commander series, and a different Duke than the standalone Duke series. So if you're saying, well, when are the Transformers going to show up? They're not. This is the true blue OG G.I. Joe series that has nothing to do with the Energon universe, Transformers, crossovers, or anything like that. That doesn't mean it's any less good. As a matter of fact, this issue is fantastic. But if you're waiting for the crossover, don't wait anymore. It's not going to happen. Okay, so what do we like about G.I. Joe Real American Hero number 304? It's admittedly it's dense, but dense in a good way. A lot of stuff happens very quickly, but Hama is top of his game. The different individual threads all come together cleanly and neatly. They're well paced. The scenes play out exactly as they need to. You get a lot of meat in every single scene. Every panel counts, and this is what we love about this kind of writing, especially from Larry Hama. This issue counts. Every single issue seems to count, and we love that. We want to get bang for our buck, and you're getting it here. Plenty of great action of the ninja variety and the military variety and the cyborg android mutant variety, so you get plenty of action. There's plenty of military jargon, military strategy and planning, plenty of spycraft, and just a great story overall. So what didn't we like about G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 304? Honestly, not much. This was great. As a matter of fact, this series seems to be getting better and better as it's picking up steam, with all attention being centered on what presumably will be some major conflict, whether it's a war or a big battle or something, either in or around the town of Springfield. Everything is moving in that direction, and you feel it. You feel the momentum, you feel the energy, you feel the excitement of folks getting tense, getting the getting their adrenaline up, getting their senses are heightened. Everything is moving towards that big battle, which is presumably is going to be coming within the next few issues, and you can feel that momentum, and that's exactly where we want to be. So let's talk about the art real quick. Primarily by Chris Mooneyham for inks and pencils, colors by Segala, Del Grosso, and the letters by Paproso. This is great art. This is very kind of grim, gritty, um, grounded, but just like hard hitting, dramatic art. Every panel looks like it's just a mean, lean, gritty military shot, and you love it. The characters look serious and determined, and everything about, and all the shadows, and there are lots of shadows, are used exactly as you need to amp up the drama with every single panel. No panel is wasted. No movement is fluff. And this is exactly the kind of art that we need for a title of this sort. Some of the lines could be cleaner, a little bit more. Some of the details could be a little bit more precise, because so much is hidden in shadows. Sometimes you sort of like don't get as much of the detail, and especially with the mutants, they look a little sloppy, but they're mutants, so they're supposed to look sloppy. But sometimes it just doesn't look quite settled with the extreme detail. But overall, looks great. Love the art. So, final thoughts. What do we think about G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 304? This is everything you want in a Joe comic. You have military action, you have ninja action, you have that twist of sci-fi that is very much part of the G.I. Joe mythology. You have momentum, you have energy. Every panel, every page counts, and we love it. Therefore, we're going to give G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero number 304 a solid 9.5 out of 10, and probably a strong contender for our pick of the week. So I hope you enjoyed this review. But before you leave, please like, share, comment, subscribe to Comical Opinions for more reviews and analysis every week. And you have a great day.